How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Fallout 76. Today is a different kind of video. I'm just gonna be relaxing and hanging out while talking to you guys about basically what you should be doing from level 1 through 50. So, let's get into it. So, you start out Vault 76, and you'll end up getting the Overseer's log or whatever. Once you leave, you'll be talking to some people. They'll tell you about the Wayward. You'll want to go down to the Wayward, but as you're going, you'll also want to find Gilman Lumber Mill. This is a great spot. It's a beginner quest area. It'll help you get some resources and other things under your belt. Also, as soon as you start the game and every time you start it, you should be joining a team. I say specifically you should be joining the casual team. The reason being that the intelligence bonus that you get gives you a higher experience buff for things, or not a higher experience buff, but you get more experience than you would for any of these other ones. When you have, what is it? Events, when you have the events one on, you get XP for completing the events, but that's it. And it's not comparable to the XP that you're getting if you were just killing things during the event. Same thing with exploration. That doesn't do much. Bonus charisma doesn't do much. If you do expeditions, like when you're actually doing expeditions, which we'll get to later, that's when you put expeditions team. Not because you want the bonus XP, but because you want people to know you're doing expeditions. Same thing with the daily ops. When you do a daily ops team, people will expect you to be playing the daily ops. Now, with that out of the way, you should be going to Wayward. Fuck. did you guys see that? Game scorched. Okay, so you'll get to the Wayward and you do the quest for them, all the way up until you'll have to find a body for Soul. Once you... While you're doing that quest, though, you'll end up having to go north up here, right? Make sure you find all these if you can. And especially what I want to point out is to be looking for these little icons right here, these lookouts. These are super important because if you find them, they'll give you XP as well as a vantage point like kind of a vantage point like scan, basically. So if you ever played Assassin's Creed, how if you get to the fucking eagle points, it'll do a scan of the land and then you'll find all these like different areas and unlockables and stuff. Same thing for this. If you find these lookouts and go to them, it'll show you all the fucking unknown spots that you haven't been to, or all the spots you haven't discovered yet in the area. Okay. So, once you kind of do all of that, you should be having to deal with following the freeway. You're going to want to end up going to Morgantown. Once you're in Morgantown, there's quite a few quests to do, including, what is it? This whole, like, Nukashine quest, and this, you find out about the, I think you find out about the responders here as well. So, the Responders quest is basically the main storyline in which you're going to be following throughout the most part of this. Through following the Responders quest, it should end up taking you either down south or up north. I'm pretty sure it's down... Let's see. Camp Blues. Solving the Well, yeah, I would. I don't know, honestly. I wouldn't recommend going to Grafton until after you've kind of dealt with a lot of the stuff. I think go through the responders quest line. Once you finish with the responders quest line, well, I don't know, because it tells you to go up north, right? See Shamed Warriors. So I guess when you're going up north, you'll go into Grafton, and while Grafton's cool, what you really want to do is make sure you head on over to the Pioneer Scout Camp, because over here is where you'll meet some robot camp counselor, scout camp counselor, and he will make you a Pioneer Scout. Becoming a Pioneer Scout allows you to get an upgraded backpack, which is honestly really fucking important, because at max level, you can get a backpack that gives you an extra 120 carry weight. Also, speaking of the backpacks, as you level up every like 10 levels, I believe, you get like 5 extra carry weight or 10 extra carry weight in your backpack. So you really need to be making sure that you're making new backpacks when you level up. And you can check that stuff on the armor workbench. But yeah, moving on. Once you have your Pioneer Scout Camp stuff, and you have this done, then you'll probably be doing the responders stuff. And as you're doing the responder stuff, you'll also have to go to up here, top of the world, right? Make sure you get White Springs, because it's going to be like a mainstay for you. White Spring is where you do most, if not all, of your selling and grinding and whatnot. That's how you grind. You grind legendaries here. You trade your bullion or your tickets to get the bullion, and so on and so forth. And when you're over here, there's a bunch of quests you can do as well, dailies and whatnot. And then you'll end up at the top of the world. Go through Rose's quest line, which will then take you more towards Fort Atlas and up north by, you know, Freddy Fear's House of Scares and stuff, and it'll take you down here. So that's where you'll be doing a lot of the work as well. And keep in mind, while you're in a team, if you see anybody over in these areas or any camps in this area, travel over there, try and find some of these points, because they are worth it. When it comes to traveling, it does cause caps, but there's quite a few points you can travel to that are free. For instance, you have Foundation, Fort Atlas, the Rose Room is a new one, Crater, what else? Rusty Pick and your own base and camp are all going to be free to teleport to. So when it comes to your camps, you want to make sure you're putting them in opportune spots, and you can actually buy more camp spots to have, you know, more places to build up. I have a camp spot here, down here, and up here for just I guess you could say teleporting reasons. It makes it a little cheaper having these places to teleport to. But yeah, once you're doing all this, I think once you hit about level 30, you should start looking into your events. Like for instance, let's go check out Tea Time, right? Oh, I can't. Hold on. You want to do your events, because more often than not, it's going to be your best way to level up. And you really need the levels once you start getting higher up, because the enemies are a little strong. So if I go do Tea Time, wait, what's wrong? Why am I unable to carry the things I need to carry? I have a lot of things I shouldn't be carrying. That's probably why.
I just can't shake these nightmares.
But yeah, doing your events and stuff will get you all the XP that you need, and then as you get your XP, the things you want to be getting are going to be things like Traveling Pharmacy, your commandos or your riflemen's, compounder and tank killer and stuff, and your luck skill as well. When you are going through the game, you'll find weapons that you like, dislike, and you'll start to have your own playstyle, and eventually you'll figure it out. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to be talking about a rifleman build. So for the most part, you're going to be using you know, like pipe rifles and stuff till you're like mid 20s. Once you hit level 25, you'll unlock lever action rifles. Lever action guns are gonna take you throughout the whole fucking game, dude. Like, honest to God, lever action rifles are probably my favorite weapon in the game. I used them up until like a couple months ago. So like through level 250, I used them. But I guess I don't really need to teleport to the event. But yeah, the events. So doing them, you see how there's a bunch of people there. It's just a great way to farm XP. And as you're farming XP, you want to make sure you're getting everything. Focusing on certain things. If you're doing rifleman, you want to focus on your single shot skills and VATS skills. Because VATS is probably the best way to kill things in this game. Just, not having to aim is so amazing. So I use a auto crit VATS build, bloodied auto crit VATS build, and I gotta say it does some real work. I'm completely happy with it, but it took a while to get here. So as I was leveling, I was using a lever action gun, like I was saying. And eventually you start getting legendary cores and legendary script. And those legendary cores and script and stuff is what you're going to want to use to get better legendary weapons. For the lever action rifle, there is one legendary that you can get from an event. It's called Wild West, and it's held down in the Nuka World area. If you do that event and get that fucking gun, it is probably going to carry you throughout your entire level 50 plus, whatever, until you start rolling like your own legendaries, just because it's that fucking good, right? And then after you complete doing your responder stuff, well, this whole time you should be working on your responders thing or whatever. Once you complete the responders quest, I recommend you come down to the Garahan mining estate, or the mining headquarters down here. You want to get yourself your excavator armor. I'm not going to go too much into detail on that, but excavator armor, super important. Because power armor is super important. Power armor is what you'll use to go through your daily ops and a lot of, or not a lot, but a couple of events and a lot of expeditions. But yeah, once you get that excavator armor, you should be looking pretty good. And at a point where you're like, I don't know. Again, still between 50 to 75. But after you get your excavator armor, then you're gonna want to do the settlers quest, which starts with you talking to the overseer. So again, you don't want to talk to the overseer until after you've done the whole responders quest, get you inoculated, blah blah blah. Once you get inoculated, then you'll talk to the overseer, and then she'll be like, now that you're inoculated, let's go talk to all these people that have been randomly showing up in the area. And you'll find out a lot of lore about them. You'll meet Meg and them, and then you end up getting into Vault 79. And then once you're in Vault 79, that will unlock your access to using Bouillon and the tickets that you get from the event. From events. What are they called? They're called like treasury notes. These treasury notes you use to get Bouillon, and that's how you unlock the use of them, is by completing the Settlers Foundation quest. And then I think after the Settlers quest is when you should do the Fort Atlas quest. Oh wait. And before you finish Settlers quest, you could probably do the soul, or finish the Wayward quest where you get Soul Her Body. I honestly don't know when you're supposed to be able to complete that. I just did it way too late and was like way beyond when I should have. So the reward I got for it was honestly jank. But I think you should be doing it around your 40s, maybe 50s. Probably around your 50s. Oh, and by the way, level 50 is the level you want to strive to. That is the highest level weapons and armor and everything will spawn at. Any level you get beyond that is just enemies scaling with you to match your power level. But yeah, you can level infinitely to get infinite perks, and then the enemies will just scale up. But their armor and weapons are still level 50. So that's something to know. Now, once you finish the Settlers quest, You should go back to the Responders quest, because the Responders quest has you start dealing with the Enclave in the White Spring area. So, to clarify, you don't want to do the White Spring Bunkers quest. You don't want to go into the White Spring Bunker until after you completed the Settlers quest. That can be started from talking to the Overseer over at the Overseer's home right here in Sutton. So you talk to her first, then you talk to the Enclave. Get your general status, nuke the Scorch Beast Queen. Once you nuke the Scorch Beast Queen, then you do Fort Atlas. And then you complete Fort Atlas, and then is when you should be done with the game, I think. Oh no, after Fort Atlas is when you do the Atlantic City stuff. So, you'll have expeditions to Atlantic City and the Pit. And if I'm gonna be straight with you guys, if you go to the boardwalk and do the most sensational game, talk to the Batsuri twins and only do them, not the dude in the fucking cowboy hat. Only talk to them and then start hit their quest. More often than not, that is your fastest expedition to run by far. So, doing these expeditions will not only get you XP and legendary stuff, but it also gets you stamps. So the stamps you're going to be spending over at the White Spring Mall, down here, and you can use the stamps to get a legendary plan for the Cold Shoulder, as well as a legendary plan for the Idoax. Those weapons aren't really important. The main weapons you should really be worried about are the weapons that drop or you can earn from events, and based on what weapons you're using, I would look into which ones are best. Like I said, the Wild West, the All-American, that one is good. I know there's a couple others, but can't think of them right now. At this point, you should be participating in events with other people, and while you're doing those events, you should just be trying to tag people as much as you can, or tagging enemies as much as you can. You're definitely not going to be able to kill a lot of them, but as long as you land a bullet shot on them or you're on a team, you'll earn the XP for it, which will just power level you up to the maximum. And then, once you start getting all your legendary shit together, you're gonna want to start working on your power armor. Or not your power armor. I would say regular armor. Start working on your regular armor. When it comes to regular armor, I personally love Unyielding. I believe it's the best if you run the Bloody build, because it gives you +3 to all stats every time you when your health is low. So if you have 5 stats, that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 15 bonus to all stats. So then if I look at myself, I have 31, 38, 11, 20, 22, which is physically impossible. The max you can level up is 15 on these, but because I am, unyielding, I get all these bonuses. So, now that I have unyielding and I have a good legendary shot rifle, I will start working on my power armor. When it comes to power armor, I believe it's the best way to get through daily ops and a lot of the expeditions, because it just gives you such a higher level of it gives you such a higher level of resistance that it's honestly unmatched. When you're level 50 going to expeditions, all the monsters are going to be maxed out strength, so they'll do fucking mad amounts of damage to you. So it's really you got to be careful. You have to be careful about it. That's why I recommend the power armor, and that's why I recommend you have excavator armor. Because I still use my excavator armor, and it's perfectly fine for me. But if you start rolling legendaries on that, and you're doing the bloodied build, I recommend doing bolstering, because that's how you get... That's like the power armor equivalent of bloodied. So then, once you have your power armor and everything, I would say that's when you should start working on your... That's when you should start working on auto rifles. Because your main goal for single shot bloody rifle build is to get into auto rifles, because auto rifles just completely stomp the DPS of single shot. It's unmatched in every single form. So just, yeah. Yeah. Just try to strive for auto rifles if you can. And railway rifles are really good. Combat rifles are really good. Just things like that. Let's see what that dude messaged me. Chat requests. He said, "Is this power core generator worth getting?" Yes. Can't go wrong with it. Okay. So yeah. Now that you have your legendaries and everything else, let's see, what else did I start working on? I mean, I don't know. At this point, you should just be farming and trying to get your build to perfect condition. When it comes to copper and stuff like that, you'll use your excavator build. There's a couple copper runs in black scrap. Jesus, black titanate scrap or whatever it's called down there that you can look up that are really good. If you go to these bases, the ones with the stars on them, you'll usually find at least one ballistic fiber. Over here at Camp McClintock are lots of whatchamacallit, screws, and you can try and find some ballistic fiber there as well. Down in Helvetia is a bunch of where is it? Where's Helvetia at? I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm lost. Where is it? Summersville. This is Helvetia, yeah. Down in Helvetia, there's a area that has a bunch of fucking wood that you can farm. You can look that up if you need to. And then over here, by the Sons of Dane compound, is the Sylvie and Sons logging camp. You'll want to come here, because this also has a shit ton of wood. Let's see. What else? Look for typewriters, cell phone, or telephones, fans, glue, things like that. That's what you want to be scrapping and carrying with you. When you find mods, I do recommend keeping them just in case, because it makes it so you don't have to spend resources on buying said mod, which is good. What else? 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 There's a lot of side quests, so keep on the lookout for that. There's allies you can find that will give you quests as well. Like, you can have actual, like, NPCs in your home, in your camp. One of the main ones is Commander Daguerre. She has a whole romance thing involved with her, which is cool. So you could do that. Let's see. And yeah, I mean, for the most part, that's kind of how I would recommend going through all of this. There's a lot more that you need to know, obviously, and there's a lot of things people will have questions on. And most of the specific stuff you can find online because other people have already done it. But, I mean, for the most part, what I've gone over is everything you really need to know. You know, it's not much. This game is really easy. Just do your best, grind, and if you feel like an area is too dangerous for you, it probably is. Try somewhere else. You shouldn't... Your ammo... When it comes to ammo, I know that is a big one. You shouldn't be shooting more than you're getting from the dead bodies. So this is why I recommend the rifle build, because you can usually, especially with the lever action, 45 rounds, you can kill one of the things in like 4 shots, 5 shots, and then you'll get 15 rounds back, 13 rounds back, 11 rounds back. Anything that's over 5 rounds, you'll get back. So after a while, it starts to stack up, and then you won't have to worry about it. And then when you do events and other things like that, you'll be looting bodies, scrapping all that stuff, and yeah, it's just good. With if there's anything specific anyone can think of that they would want to know, go ahead and comment down below. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you have a good night, and I will catch you on the next one. See ya!